Hello, and welcome to the AstroEnergy Astrology Show podcast with Astrologer Shelley Overton. Hello, it's Shelley, and welcome to the, September 30th, 2020 edition of the AstroEnergy Astrology Show podcast. So welcome. I am here in my kitchen at my parents' bungalow, and I am going to be going over all the astrology for the week. So we've got a busy week, not gonna lie. Yeah, so gonna just show you what I've got here. I'll probably put this up on the side screen. There, lots of clustered planets. We've got a few quincunx, you know, the little symbol there. And then we've got this lovely triangle, but it isn't a trine and it isn't a finger of God. It's just a trine and two inconjuncts. But actually there is a finger of God in there with Venus at the apex. What do you know? So this is a finger of God right here. Inconjunct, aka quincunx, and sextile. So we've got the cluster of stellium planets of Capricorn, and we've got the Moon Neptune conjunction with Venus at Leo 7 degrees. So what does that mean? You know, that's kind of the big thing. What does that mean? I'm going to derail a little bit. I had all of this week's stuff to go over, but I didn't know that aspect was there. Anyway, yeah, so what we have is a sextile between Jupiter and, no, I'm sorry, looking at the squares, not the squares, the sextile. Sextile is 60 degrees. SEX is like hex or six, it's all the same. Hex, six, sex. Anyway, so Jupiter is at 17 degree Capricorn and Neptune is at 19. So they are in sextile. The moon's at 25, which is sextile to the exact degree of Saturn. And so the moon sextiling Saturn at the moment, that's going to drive my viewers nuts, I'm sure. My slight tilt. Yeah, there it goes. I don't know what to tell you. The lighting. Okay. Anyway, so that means that basically the two planets that are sextile to each other are going to be in cooperation, and those planets are inconjunct to a third planet, and that generally means that there is a friction aspect. But because that planet is the peak of the isosceles, I think it's isosceles triangle, the one with two long sides and one short side. Anyway, long time since geometry. I deal with it all the time in astrology. So I hope you like math if you're an astrologer, because you do a lot of astrology and geometry. Okay. Just going to take a deep breath. So Saturn in conjunct to Venus. Saturn is authority figures, and that means that they are not really getting along with women or female energy right now. Female energy is in Leo, so there is definitely, so this is an interesting aspect because Venus at late degrees Leo is culminating the energy of larger than life, of braggadocio or arrogance, or, you know, all the negative aspects of Leo, as well as the positive of generosity and creativity and connectedness to children. So there is a lot of energy flying around that's Leo. Some of the more difficult aspects, unless you're a children's book writer or a screenwriter, is the energy in Leo of telling tales and expanding and expounding in hyperbolic speech. So we see that. The debates were last night, and so of course there was a lot of hyperbolic speech, and I'm going to derail here for a second, or take a left turn, not derail. We're still talking astrology, so my voice is a little rough today. I've been congested, I apologize. So Trump has a late degree Leo in Leo Pluto. So right now we've got Venus sitting on his Pluto. The thing that I think he's most concerned about is Kamala Harris. And while he can call names of Joe Biden, I think he's really concerned that he's picked a woman for vice president, and not just a woman, but a very strong woman. And it's probably a good thing he didn't debate her, because I think he would have been turned into an ink spot, honestly. But Joe Biden just kind of let him go on. And some of the reviews on my side from what I've read today were that he just went on and on. He talked over the host, which was Chris Wallace. Chris Wallace didn't necessarily have control of the thing, but he tried. I was watching it too. And he kept telling him, you know, we agreed to do this and give people time, but Trump just kept going. So there was some friction going on there. But what happens is Saturn and Pluto too, because Pluto is at 22 degrees here. I know it's backwards for you, but 22 and 25. So they're both in conjunct to Venus. And so there is a desire that's going on to be larger than life and to connect. Venus is how we want things to be. And in Leo, she really wants to connect. She really wants to bond with another person, know that she's accepted, know that things are going to go well. She is into status. You know, so it's not surprising. She's actually conjunct Trump's Pluto. And Pluto is psychology. So right now we're getting a very clear view of his psychology. Like, it's about image, it's about money and larger than life. And I'm the leader, which is also a Leo energy, and it's hair. So, you know, of course Trump has the hair. But then we have Saturn, and Saturn just went direct. I'm sorry, I got something in my eye here probably. Okay. Saturn went direct Monday and Tuesday, depending on which time zone you're in. So it was Monday if you're in Pacific, and Tuesday if you're in Eastern. And so, and also GMT. Saturn is about the structure and the authority and reining things in so that they are literal. We are not accepting of a lot of lying when Saturn's going direct in Capricorn. When it's retrograde, we tolerate it more. There's more of a Jupiterian energy, more of an acceptance of what is, as opposed to Saturn direct, which is very much, here's my box, these are my boxes, these are the labels I'm giving it, and, you know, let's all fall in line. And so because Saturn went direct 2 days ago, well, today's Thursday, and the debates, oh no, I take it back. Yeah, and the debates were Wednesday, and Saturn went direct on Tuesday early in the morning here in the Eastern time zone. So it was like this shift that happened. And honestly, the shift affects what's going on in the collective consciousness. And because Saturn went direct, we are now in the final degrees, last 5 degrees before December, when Saturn goes into Aquarius. So we're really going to push towards the end of a storyline around authority, around government, around hierarchies. We are also, because Jupiter will be going over Pluto in a few days. I don't know if I have that written down, and I don't necessarily want to chew up time looking for when the two are together. If it jumps out at me, I can tell you. But let me see if I can see. I think it's actually, believe it or not, I think it's actually the end of the month, from what I remember. Yeah, so Jupiter, it's even farther along. Jupiter, Pluto, 22 degrees is what I'm looking for. So yeah, Jupiter doesn't even get there until November. Mid-November, he is at 2243, and within a week. So right around the 21, 22 degree, sorry, bitches, you know, when you're on video, every little thing starts to stick out. That's kind of what's happening right now. So Pluto is at 22, 42, 43 on the 3rd of November, which is the same degree that they all clustered at. Saturn, Jupiter, Pluto clustered on the 12th and 13th of January this year. That was kind of the demarcation for the whole country of when things really started to change in this country. I mentioned it at the beginning of the year forecast that I did. And, you know, when I broke down what was going to happen this coming year, that was a very large demarcation because of the Capricorn energy, and the nodes were on 22 as well. So when you have that amount of power clustered at a degree, every time planets cross that degree, you're going to find it's triggered again. And so Jupiter and Pluto join up around 22 degrees, and that happens at the beginning of November. And so, of course, I'm going to write a blog about this. I'm actually in the middle of writing a blog about this. So if you want this in writing, definitely go to angeliczodiac.com. You'll see it there. I haven't gotten it up yet, but by tomorrow it should be up because it's on my agenda to do today and finish off. Yeah, so Saturn is going to be going direct. No, I'm sorry. Saturn just went direct. I was looking over the charts here and I saw Jupiter, and I've been looking forward to Jupiter changing direction for so long. That was where my focus was. And I forgot we're already at the end of September. It's like, man, this month has flown. So Saturn now direct. We're racing, honestly, through the last 5 degrees. It'll be in 25 degrees because remember, once he goes direct, he has to get up to speed and go forward again from our perspective. He'll be at 2520 October 1st, and he only gets to 2601 on the 27th of October. So he'll finally get out of 25 degrees. The whole month of October is at 25 degrees of Capricorn. So, and he has been at 25 all of September as well. So yeah, 2 full months at 25 degrees. What does that mean? Well, it's the ending. It's basically a culmination. And because he was retrograde for half of those and direct for half of those, it's really like we have been stuck, especially the last degrees as he's slowing down to station through the month of September. And so it's been really digging in to the authority issues that we've been dealing with. And now that he is going direct, now that we can move forward again, and we will see the transitioning of those career moves for personal lives. It's going to be about career. It's about ownership. Jupiter hitting Pluto is going to awaken us to our own drive towards what we personally want to take ownership for. Career and karma is Saturn. Jupiter is expansion and transformation. And Pluto is psychology. So, excuse me, as we go from Jupiter, travel, expansion, awareness of freedom, we've been really stressed out until mid-September when he went direct about like we feel restricted and there are no options. As Jupiter is now moving forward and gaining some ground, he's starting to see opportunities and options again. It is major. It is life-changing. Pluto is the life-changing planet, and this is why I will, to the end of time, rally for Pluto's status as a planet, because Pluto is so powerful. Out of all the zodiac signs, he will make or break lives. And wherever he falls in your chart is where you will go through major life changes in the course of your life every time that degree is hit. It's in my house of friendships. I definitely have multiple groups of friends over the course of my life, and am just now going through another transition around friends and realizing that the soul group the soul group I'm around is not supporting me the way I need to be supported, which is cooperation and friendliness. I need people to do things with, and most of my friends now are not really available to do stuff with. So I haven't seen them as much. And then of course, COVID steps in. And again, COVID is part of this stellium in Capricorn. And it is also part of the retrograde of Mercury in Pisces. So I just had a thought. I know I'm throwing a lot of this information out at you, and it's really kind of a small insight into my brain because my brain just has stuff flying through it and all the connections. I have strong connection energy in my own chart. So I'm always seeing relationships in chart energy. And part of that is having the sun, which naturally rules Leo, which is the connector, in Virgo in the Aquarian house. So I've got Mercury I answer to, Uranus I answer to, and a lot of quick moving energy in my mind around this. And that's probably what makes me pretty good at connections and also art, is that my mind just is always popping with the connections between things and people. So yeah. Okay, so let's go back here to this week because I've got a lot that I put in here. I'm going to start with Monday because I know we touched last week on Saturn Direct. And I've been talking about Saturn Direct, but Saturn Direct happened over the course of Monday and Tuesday, and that is our career and our life purpose. And because Jupiter and Pluto are right near it, we are feeling this deep soul, visceral drive to make a shift around career, something that we've been dying to do all our lives, and now we have to do. And that's really what it comes down to, is that we are not going to pussyfoot around anymore. Jupiter will make sure of it. And just as kind of an illustrator, I have a friend who works at Disney, and currently they're laying off 28,000 people this week at Disney World because they're down to 25%. They're only 25% open. So 25% of their guests are allowed in the park. And that is a lot of people who are not going to have jobs to do because they're just not letting the people in yet. So that is happening this week. And when does it happen? It happens, well, she was telling me late this week and Thursday that they were going to announce it Thursday. Well, I know it became public knowledge from what she told me today, over the last 2 days. Tomorrow, which is Thursday, is the full moon in Aries. And what does that mean? So the full moon in Aries is at 9 degrees of Aries. It's, again, new energy. We're moving now towards new energy and wrapping up the old energy of Capricorn and moving towards the new energy. Aries is the birth of something. It's fresh, energetic movement. Have to go do. Mars is where you do things in your chart. So Mars is the ruling planet of Aries. And Moon at full Aries, opposite Libra, we're going to have issues associated with the identity, the self-promotion. Again, it's fire. I wore my fall energy here, woke up at, and I'm going to digress a lot, so I'm just letting you know I'll probably have a few tangents. Started out this morning to go for a walk, and it was 65 degrees in Orlando. I was so happy. I was happy and crying at the same time because you don't know how hot it can get here in Orlando with the humidity. And so it just was like, boom, the energy shifted. Capricorn is a cooling energy. Immediately have a cooling energy. Of course, I'm hot now because it's getting on its way up to like 78, almost 80. And I have a sweater on because it's really cute and it's fall. So yeah, we've got a shift in weather here in Orlando, which I'm so excited about. And it's going to be that way for 3 days. So we've got 65 or 66, 67 overnight for 3 days here. And it's in the 70s and low 80s and in the day. Very, very happy. But the full moon's fire. Full moon, it's going to be energy of fire, and it's going to trigger the fire energy in our charts. And now it's at 9 degrees. That means that when it goes into Aries, which is 10:47 p.m. Eastern, 7:47 p.m. tonight Pacific, and I think it's 4 hours later, so it's going to be 2:47 a.m. tomorrow morning for GMT. We are going to have the energy that is new and initiating, and it also may mean new fires, I'm sorry to say, but it's the moon. Moon is home, so it's going to be rough. I'm sorry, I don't want to tell people this, but for 2 days the moon is going to be squaring Capricorn. It's going to be opposite the sun in Libra, and the one saving grace is that there's no Cancer energy going on. At least I don't have the asteroids, but I don't see any Cancer energy in the charts right now. So that's amazing, at least that we only have 3 out of the 4 points, and that's a T-square. Okay, so not tomorrow, but Friday, there will be a T-square. We talked about this last week. Planet, planet, planet. So it makes a T in the sky, 2 squares, and an opposition. And that's a power planet. Boy, I'm having trouble with my mouth today. Power position. And we also have Mercury in shadow period right now. And just to illustrate that, I've got, can't even see it, my phone. Let me see if I can get it for you. There's a crack right here. Yeah, there you can kind of see it. And then it just cracked down this way. So this half of my phone doesn't work by touch, and I have to have my phone. So I'm I've got the kit to repair it. Very nervous to do that, but I will be doing that this afternoon. So technology is going to be making itself known. It's contracts, technology, communications, having control over your mouth, having control over your thoughts. Accidents can happen. Oh my gosh, I was driving down the road 2 days ago, or maybe it was yesterday, it was recently. I was in the fast lane going through a light that had just changed, and the last stragglers coming the other direction to turn right went in front of me, and a third person went in front of me on my green light, and I had to swerve out of the way to not hit her. And then she saw me at the last second, swerved into the lane I moved into, so she almost hit me twice. Be careful out there. I mean, I'm laughing about it now, but I was very upset. So transportation is also covered under Mercury retrograde. We're in Mercury in Scorpio, just went into Scorpio 2 days ago. It is now at 3 degrees of Scorpio. So it is psychology. Mercury answers to Pluto, and Pluto is, like I said, in that cluster of planets in stellium in Capricorn. So we're going to have a Pluto, Jupiter, Saturn storyline to our Mercury retrograde. So it is about value. Do we value ourselves? Do other people value us? Where's the money? Money is our translation of value in this society. What's happening with finances? What's happening with our currency? Interestingly, Pluto rules joint finances, and Venus rules, well, value of us to others in Scorpio, and Venus rules our own sense of self and value. And Mercury is in the Pluto-ruled Scorpio, retrograding back into Venus-ruled Libra in the course of this retrograde. So we are going to see how our value translates, how our thoughts support what our value appears to be. So this is a really strong time of understanding, am I doing what it takes to make the kind of money I really want to make? And how do people see me? You know, I was having this thought today about someone close to me. How do they see me? How are they interpreting my behavior? And if the result is always the same, you know what, I hate saying it, I told it to someone years ago, and now they repeat it as if it's their own, but the definition of insanity is doing the same thing and expecting a different result. So my thought today was, I have this kind of negative relationship with this person. What am I doing that brings out that energy? Because I could do the very same thing as my daughter, and I would get a completely different interaction from the same person. And I'm like, why is that? Why am I seen this way through their eyes? And that's really what we need to figure out during this Mercury retrograde, is where are we psychologically with how people treat us? Doesn't mean you're to blame. I'm absolutely, I've told you in past shows, past podcasts, that I don't believe in karma as a punishment or punishment as a behavior modification, because I think it's negative, and I think it is not getting to the heart of the problem. The heart of the problem comes back to us. It's about what we think of ourselves and what energy we put out, because karma is a mirror back of what we're putting out, and it's neutral. Karma is neutral. It only gets assigned good or bad by our life experience and the collective view of what we would want. So maybe a little lesson in karma, as we see things mirrored back to us in a hierarchical mindset, in a hierarchical construct, we're saying, oh, well, they must think that I'm a bad person, or they are correcting me, so I'm wrong. You're not wrong. You're an individual, and you're living your life as an individual, and you have your own life experiences. You have your own behavior nature that comes out based on your life experiences. And it isn't necessarily good or bad unless you are harming another person, which is my one. You do not harm other people in being yourself. When you start to harm someone else, that's a no. You're not being moral. You're not being a good person. But if you're just being who you are with your own personal preferences, you are a good person. And if other people don't like it, that's on them. You have to be true to yourself. And Mercury retrograding in Scorpio is going to show us where we are maybe less than okay with our own behavior, and that sometimes we feel frustrated by our own natures. So we can see really what we're doing and how that reflects within our environment. And it's everyone. I've got chills with this. So everyone is experiencing this dynamic, this subtle dynamic of Mercury retrograding in Scorpio. But currently with Mercury direct, of course, we're finding out what those issues are going to be. And, you know, it's just into Scorpio. I personally have Scorpio in the first house, so I'm much more aware. And definitely whenever planets are in Scorpio, it can bring us down. It is a diver of the depths. It likes to go in the caves and find out the mysteries and dig up the dirt and the graves and, you know, what was planted in that grave with those people. You know, what did they bury them with? What are the mysteries and the clues? So the reason that Scorpio does this is to understand and to solve it, to find solutions. So Mercury in Scorpio is a fabulous solution finding energy in our lives. So wherever your Scorpio is right now, look to what you want from other people, what you're getting, what you're putting out, because we need to know that so we can change it if we're not getting what we truly want. And if we are getting what we truly want, do more of it, you know? So we'll see that. And it's already in shadow period. We're already experiencing some of this energy. We've got an opposition to Uranus in about 5 days. Mercury opposes Uranus. Mercury goes about 1 degree a day, and Uranus is at 9 degrees of Taurus, so they're 6 degrees apart, ergo about 6 days. So, sorry, there's someone coming home if you hear noise. But Mercury opposite Uranus. Uranus, large-scale technology, large-scale friction. If it's opposing Mercury specifically, technology. I've been dealing with this. I can feel it as it's been coming on. Like I said, my phone's been giving me issues. My computer's been giving me issues. My car's been giving me issues. The handle pulled right off of my car door, my driver's door. And it's hitting in my 3rd house. All the Capricorn is in my 3rd house of transportation, communication, small animals, knock wood. I've got 2 cats. My cat, Ginger, is going crazy in this cool weather today, ran around the patio and then zoomed up a tree outside. So she's definitely feeling the energy. But my dad's sneaking in over here. I'm going to put you on the video if you don't watch it. You say hi to everybody. Say hi.
Hi, everybody.
He's a good man. Oh, thank you. Very pretty. So this is what he got. My son was in this regatta when he was in college and then kind of ended with COVID. He just stopped all activity. Given that to him for his new little house down in South Florida. It's really awesome. Yeah, so right now, technology can be frisky and give you difficulty. Definitely pay attention to cats and pets, small animals. There was something with small animals I wanted to say. What was it? We've been having raccoon issues here. My cats are on the patio right behind me, and the raccoon keeps coming and eating the food. But you'll see more small animals coming out right now with this energy. And don't forget, animals are influenced as well. So, you know, there could be issues arising from wildlife and neighbors. Mercury rules neighbors, siblings, like I said, transportation, motors, engines, appliances. So contacts and contracts. So definitely, if you're going to be signing something, be conscientious of that, because Scorpio is about commitment and Mercury rules contracts and the paperwork. Virgo, ruled by Mercury, loves paperwork, and you can see I'm more of a paper girl than I am technology, but I am very much technology as well, but always have paper to back it up, right? So anyway, yeah. Let's see what else we have for the rest of the week. Got to put my glasses on here. Oh, wow, we're 30 minutes already. Oh, okay. So Venus goes into Virgo on Friday. Venus right now is at 27 degrees of Leo, and she shift signs into Virgo. So she's going to be much more nitpicky, persnickety. Currently, like I said, she's large. She loves kids and connecting and eating out and social situations. But when Venus moves into Virgo, it's about the details and the analysis. It's about education and teachers. So, and it can be about transportation as well, because she is about the materiality of Mercury. And so it can be the energy of your vehicle or of your technology, you know, in the material world. Keep that in mind. And let's see, I know it's like every day this week, there's something going on. So Monday was Saturn direct overnight to Tuesday. We had a square between Saturn and Mars yesterday. And of course that 5:50 p.m. Eastern, which is what, an hour and a half, 2 hours before the debates. So major square off between action and authority. And somebody wants to take action to do things, Biden, and authority, Saturn. Interesting date to have the first debate. Moon enters Aries today. Moon is also conjunct Neptune starting out today, sextile to Pluto and Saturn, and then in conjunct to Venus at 6:17 p.m. So that can be friction or disagreements. And honestly, just watch out for mother-daughter relationships. And then Moon enters Aries, which is looking for a fight. Let's just be honest. Fights and fires and tear it down and burn it up and take action. Just do it, you know, Nike. Thursday is the full moon in Aries, can be an angry day. The moon starts out with an inconjunct to Mercury. So it will be action driving, wanting to hit it hard and go versus the thinking and awareness of something, but Scorpio, it's solutions. So there is a friction energy around an answer, moon, to the solution and how we're going to culminate the analysis and actually have a solution. Then there is a conjunct between the moon and Chiron, which is a wounding. And right now Chiron's in Aries. So we are having much more police energy and fire energy, firefighters, police, emergency, and construction. All of that falls under Aries. And again, it's hitting it and moving forward. It's initiation, it's drive. I'm sorry, repetition is how you understand this. Moon opposing Sun at Thursday at 5:05 p.m. So it's going to be the full moon, and it is a harvest moon. It is also a blue moon, second full moon of the month, blue moon. So it's once in a blue moon. And that means that we are going to have the moon a lot brighter and a lot bigger. And it's also, from what I understand, they call it the harvest moon because that's when they had more light to pick the harvest. So I found that was really interesting. Yeah, after dark, the moon lit up the sky and was able to extend the hours of the harvest. And then let's see, Friday, Venus enters Virgo, again, 4:48 p.m. Saturday, we have moon squaring Saturn on Saturn's day. So I think Saturn might have the upper hand with that. And that is emotions and the structure of home versus family and, you know, like career versus home and the structure and taking action to move forward. Definitely feeling that energy. And then Pluto goes direct 9:32 a.m. Eastern on Sunday, 6:32 a.m. Pacific. And then let's see, that would be 1 p.m. on Sunday for GMT. Pluto direct. I'm running out of time, so I'm just going to talk to you a bit about Pluto. Again, psychology, how you commit, how you go deep. It is law, legalities, definitely filling the seat Ginsburg left will be initiated next week probably. It digs deep. It wants to know the truth in Capricorn. Pluto in Capricorn is, the truth is rising to the surface, the ugly truth. So I expect fully by the weekend and into next week, we're going to have even more watershed moments of truth and information coming out. Structures are going to fall. Jupiter joining up with Pluto is about transformation of the physical structures, of the governmental structures and hierarchy. It is the end of the energy. And also, I think we have a 28-degree Pluto in this country. So Pluto's 1 degree off. If I'm not mistaken, it may actually be conjunct right now. I have to look it up. But this country is going through major transformation. And this is obviously a once in a 260 plus odd year cycle that we go through this shift and ideological awakening. So yeah, okay, Monday, gosh, that can't be right. Wow, Monday is October 5th. Who knew? Wow, it's just racing up on us. There, got a new sweater on here, and tags are prickling me in the back, so my apologies to the viewers. I'm gonna just turn you down a little bit. Okay, yeah, and we've been running around the house getting ready for the podcast. And so I'm a little hyped up, not gonna lie. And every time I do this, my movements make the light change on this podcast. And I apologize, that camera seems to have like some kind of sheen over the cover of the lens. So it always looks very nice, soft focus when I do this. I'm gonna try and put it down just a little bit more. There we go.
You have been listening to the AstroEnergy Astrology Show. If you would like to get a private reading with Shelley, please contact her through angeliczodiac.com or at so@angeliczodiac.com. You can arrange a reading through the Angelic Zodiac page at facebook.com as well. Check out Angelic Zodiac on Instagram for up-to-date information on events, discounts, blogs and planetary transits at Angelic Zodiac 1 on Instagram. If you would like to see Shelley's art, shelleyoverton.com, or for astrology art, go to astroart.net. Music provided by Kevin MacLeod at incompetech.com. Other music will be credited within the show. Advice given in the program is intended for entertainment purposes only. Join us here next week for more of the AstroEnergy Astrology Show podcast. You can find us on iTunes and Google Play, and where podcasts are accessed.